feel like I don't need to give a bit of an intro to you because
Yeah.
I feel like everyone knows Charlotte. Charlotte, mum of 4, 2 boys, Tommy and Jude, and your 2 twin girls. You're here. Hello.
I'm here. I'm so happy to be here.
We
You know
love
I love
having
you
you
girls.
here.
I love you.
Love you girls. I know. And you know what? It's 4 months today since I started my account. 4
Oh, is
months.
that it?
Press click. Yeah.
Amazing.
Which is kind of scary. I haven't taken a breath since,
No,
but
it
you
is
know.
full blown.
It is, and I think because I've got so much to say, and I think I've lived and breathed it for 17 years, that it feels like, oh, there's this, and there's that, and there's this, and I've been divorced and married, and I've got 2 autistic boys, and I've got twins, and I've got this, and I've got that. So it always kind of feels like I've got something to say, but I do need to take a breath a bit more, I think, because
No, you
I'm
don't.
probably going to end up on losing this relationship too.
Oh, possibly
He's
that
like, you're always on
case.
your phone.
Oh,
I'm
tell
like,
me
no,
about
I'm
it.
not. What are you talking about? But yeah,
Yes.
I don't even look at the hours that I use it
No.
anymore.
I think you're so relatable in the sense that you just said you've had so many ups and downs, as you said, separations, new marriage, new families, racing to send children, that anything that you post, there's still so many people can be like, yeah, I get that.
Yeah, I feel like that. But the posts I always love, I don't know if you find this, they just flop. You know, the ones that you're like, that is this is me. And I'm like, what? Yeah. Like, this meant so much to me. And I'll be honest, what I hate most about this world that I've joined in the last 4 months is the negative posts receive the most volume.
Yes, it's so true.
And I'm not going to just make up negative stuff so I keep getting posts. If that's my day, 100% it's going out there.
Yeah.
If that's the place I'm in. But celebrating the good stuff, it never gets the same traction. No. And I think I'm kind of here to change that, to do that.
Please, yeah.
And I'm going to keep going with it. And for me, I'm not that into, oh my God, I need this many likes or this many. I am just here to be authentic.
Yeah.
It is somewhat different, I think, from other accounts. But I just want people to know that there is so much joy in being positive. For the last 17 years, it's the only thing that's kept me going. You know, I've always been the funny friend. I've always been the one that, you know, goes to a party and they rely on Charlotte to kind of bring some
I can see that.
jazz to it.
Without any substances involved.
Yeah, and it's
i.e.
just my
alcohol.
personality. I'm funny.
Yeah.
I think I should have been a comedian, but, you know, that's a different life.
You've still got time.
There's still time. So a lot of my heartache and my trauma is covered up in comedy.
Yeah.
And I think they say most comedians are a bit like that, aren't they? But I do. I use it as a healing tool for me. I need to laugh. You know, I find awkwardness in the sadness and silence. And also I think going through the type of life that I've had, being a mum, if I stopped and focused too much on the problems or the things that make me sad, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get out of bed the next day. I don't know if I'm going to be able to meet my friend on Saturday because it's dark, you know, and it's hard. And, you know, Jade, you're going through probably, Bailey Bow is very similar, like you said, to Jude. You're going through what I went through, you know, 12 years ago. And it's a difficult stage to get through.
How do you? This is what I want to ask you.
How do you get through it?
Because I look up to someone like yourself that's
Yeah.
been through it for 17 years, and obviously Bailey Bow's not even 4 yet, so I know I've got a long road to go. But I also on my Instagram post how I'm feeling, but lately my posts are so dull and dark, and
But that's how
I
you
know
feel.
that. But how the fuck do I get out of it? Because I can't see myself getting out of it.
Only you can change that. You know, it's not, oh, I'm going to pretend that we had a nice day at the
No.
farm today. You can't do that. It is mindset, and it is changing your core beliefs in what motherhood looks like to you. And you've had one way, you know, and that is doing it a neurotypical way. And you've also got to go, okay, this is a different version. And I've got to change it, because if I don't change it, I'm going to be miserable. Yeah. I could end up divorced. I could end up sad and lonely all the bloody time. And that's not okay to feel like that. We get one life.
And I was the fun friend.
Yeah, and
Literally.
you will get back there. And it's very natural throughout life cycle to have dark and dull moments. And, menopause or hormonal changes, they're all come and throw things in. Like, I, for the last 2 years, dealt with anxiety. I've never had it in my life. It's come, it's knocked on my door, and it is horrendous. Now, my anxieties come a lot from, I think, maybe masking them for so long.
Yeah.
So I think what you do is quite good. It's important to output it more. And I was very raw and honest with my friends, but I probably did mask it more than I should have. So a lot of it might be that. And I think the second bit of it is, for me, I have now picked up on the things that they find anxious, that they find traumatic. Because if I take somewhere with Jude somewhere and a baby starts crying, it makes me anxious because it's going to ruin my day. Yeah. So I'm always feeling on high alert and really anxious because the tide can turn literally like that. And for me, that scares me because I don't have the same strength I did when I was 30. My mind is not as, okay, we can do this. Everything is changing slightly. So I think as the boys get older, so do I. And I have to adjust to their hormones are changing, so are mine. They are feeling, different. I feel different. So for me, I think it's about learning to reconnect back to those things. But I think what I've really learned is, both my sons can't communicate verbally. We have stopped looking at years ago, we didn't go on Tinder to get a date. We went into a bar, and if a bloke was looking at you in a certain way, you knew he liked you. Yeah. And that is what we're missing now. We're missing looking deeper into just the body language of people. And I think because of phones and because of iPads and tellies and our life being so fast paced now, we've stopped doing that. And actually, if we strip it all away a bit, if I used to go to a party with my friends and it was really shit, I'd look across the room and go, and they'd be like, she's saying, let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. So actually, that is a massive way of communicating through your eyes, through your expressions, through body language. But because we've become so climatized to just being on phones, being on that, we've stopped looking deeper. But with the boys, I've never stopped that. So I know a facial expression, a noise, the way they walk, the way that they, even just eat that day. I know, because I'm so used to looking so deep, what kind of mood they're in. And I go with it. And I have the respect to go, okay, he needs a bit of space, or okay, we don't need to go out today because he doesn't want to go out today. And I think you need to keep looking deeper into those things with people. There is so many other ways to communicate rather than using your voice.
It's so true. And actually, we had someone else on recently, it hasn't come out yet, who said the same. She's a psychologist and she works with children. And she said that because of our society and how we live today, and we're always on our phones, and the kids are always on iPads, and if the kids aren't on anything and they're looking at their mum and dad who are sitting on their phones, they actually don't know any different. Do you think, because your children are older than ours, and this where many people are, that you really learnt how to read your boys deeper before the technology came in?
I think so. I mean, I didn't grow up being a mum with Instagram. I had a Facebook, and it wasn't so important. We used to watch more box sets. It was more normal, and then you go to bed. It is such a different world now. It's scary. And I think for me, I have never been desensitized to their body language and their feelings because it is our way of communicating. Yeah. So I always hone in on that, and I keep that. And if I feel like they're not well, they're not well. If they don't want to go somewhere, I don't give a shit, we don't go somewhere. Yeah. Because I've tried too many times to go somewhere and it doesn't work. And I think that's what you learn with age. You went to a sports day recently. Yeah. It really upset you, as it would and should. But you will learn in the next few years that you will get someone to, either a carer to come in or look after baby. But yes, it's sad she's not there, but that's okay. And you will go and watch sports day and be able to be there for your other children. And I think as time goes by, you learn that you don't all have to be together for it to feel okay. And I think I've had to go on holidays without Jude and Tommy. That was a struggle. Fuck, they should be here. How am I supposed to enjoy this? They don't want to be there, And
also you need time for you too.
You need time for you. And also I need to understand that I've got the mental health of my 2 neurotypical children to look after.
And they're 2 twin girls.
And already there's bits of them that I'm like, okay, that's a little bit there, or that's a little bit this. But then we'll deal with that as the time comes.
Yeah.
But right now, I don't want to have to say to them, I'm really sorry, we can't go on holiday. You know, and it is about finding that balance and accepting that it's okay.
That's what it is, Charlotte. It's the acceptance. I don't think I'm there yet.
And that will take time, but it is okay. And you have to remember that, you know, you are not just a mum. You know, it is exhausting on our minds, on our bodies, on our souls, and it cuts different.
Yeah.
You know, and I even think it cuts difference for dads, or, you know, we feel so much emotion towards it that then that does stuff to us as well. You know, that makes me more tired, that makes me more anxious, that makes me, because I am feeling every bit of them not being happy, or them being distressed, or I just wanted to go to the shop, or I just wanted to go to that party and now I can't go because they had a meltdown 3 hours ago. How can I leave him with someone? And I think I've just got to the point now where you cannot control autism. I've learnt that. You know, there's no, oh, okay, if you do this, this and this, and then, you know, Jude's going to have a really good day. No, he's not going to have a really good day. If he's going to have a bad day, it's coming. And you ride the wave. And then, okay, we say we won't go anywhere today. Or if we were planning to go somewhere, then the person that's arranged to look after you, they're still coming. And they will get through it. And I think once I realised that, you know, I was going to come home and they weren't going to be dead, because that's, you know, you think of it like that. I can't leave. Yeah. You know, what would happen? They're not going to die.
No.
But mostly growth comes from actually leaving them with other people, giving them a reason to know that they can do life without you. And I think I've learnt that through Tommy. You know, Tommy needs his carers on a Saturday. If he doesn't have it, he doesn't have a good day. He doesn't want us to take him to the farm. He doesn't want to go with us. He wants to go with them. And
because
I think
they're his friends as well.
They're his friends, and I think he probably feels like, I'm doing this, you know, without her.
Independence.
Independent.
That's what I said to you, Jade. When you put Bailey into that summer camp, or whenever it was, when we put them in, it killed her. But I said, you need to let her go. Yeah. You need to let her build her independence. It does. And you feel so guilty. But I saw Bailey there and she was as happy as anything. And it's the same applies for Callie, because she's got a 1-to-1. They have decided now not to let her sit separately. Yeah. For the 1-to-1 to be her eye and her shadow, but to let her be independent and be part of everyone else. And she's thriving that way. Yeah. And without her saying, I mean, she's now saying no to the TA. And I'm like, well, you kind of need her. Yeah. But it's letting them do things for themselves. And it takes time to accept that. But once you do, look at your result now. Look where you are.
And there is so much growth in it. And don't get me wrong, we've gone through, it's ups and downs, it's turbulence. And just when you think you've cracked it, you're like, damn, you know, and trauma can come and hit you back in the face again. And you feel a little bit weaker each time, because you don't know if the last time nearly broke you, or if it did break you and you're still recovering. But you keep going. And for me, I've always, like I said, tried to laugh through it. I'll find something to laugh about, even if I phone my friend and we talk about something ridiculous, or an ex-boyfriend that we both remember who was an absolute, you know, shit show, and it was hilarious. You know, just something that brings you back to something that grounds you to who you are again. Yeah. And I think I try to do that with the boys. I want them to see my personality as well. I don't want them to just see me as, oh, that she's my carer. You know, oh, she knows where the snacks are and she delivers them exactly in time and the way I want them. Or, you know, I want them to go, oh, okay, her voice is, you know, a funny voice. And I try to go back to that with them as much as possible. And it probably annoys the hell out of them. But it would if they were regular, you know, neurotypical 17-year-olds. It'd probably be a fucking, you know.
But it's so nice that you are presenting to them you. Yeah. Not their mum, not their carer, you as Charlotte.
And I do try to do that. In between all of the nappies and the, you know, getting them dressed, and I have to brush Jude's teeth. You know, Jude is not just autistic, he has severe learning difficulty. And he can't get himself dressed. He does wear nappies. He does have to have his teeth brushed. He can't manipulate a knife and fork properly. This is a full-time job. And that's why I hate the word autism. Because, and I wrote a post about it the other day, how can one word justify what we're all going through? And it's not that I feel that anyone's journey is less than mine, but it is different. Yeah. So it shouldn't be the same word. Like they took away Asperger's. Oh, we don't have that word anymore. What?
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, so you've been Asperger's for 30 years, but sorry, that word doesn't exist anymore. That word made sense to me.
Yes.
When I heard that word, I understood.
Yeah.
They're very high functioning. They might be a bit quirky.
Yeah.
Or they don't, you know, they don't really like to go to parties. It made sense. But one word for all these different levels of spectrums, yeah, those are the things that grate me. And I, as much as I'm fun and funny, I am fiercely protective. I do sit up and go, what? You know, when I see posts when they're saying, oh, my non-verbal son, and he's talking. No.
Yeah.
You know.
You're not non-verbal.
Those things are not okay
No.
with me. And I think there's a lot of people out there that have that version. But I also 100% relate to people who have higher functioning children on the spectrum whose journey is different. Not less hard, but different.
Yeah, different ways.
You know, my friends have got very high functioning children with autism, and they have to deal with a whole different mental health issue that I don't have to. And that must be horrendous to go through as parents, but it is different.
Sure.
You
so
know?
how can one word define
It doesn't.
those situations?
And that needs to change. In my opinion, that needs to change. Because if I go somewhere and we're all sitting there as autism mums, but little Freddie's going off to university and my son Jude is wearing nappies and I'm brushing his teeth for him, they do not
Yeah.
justify. And,
I totally
and that,
agree.
that's the one thing I think that I would personally make a change if I could.
How do we do that?
But how would you change it out of interest?
I think there needs to be like this autism level 1, 2, 3. No, what I don't even know what
They've
1,
even
2, 3
taken
means.
that away anyway. They've taken that
Well,
away.
first of all, it used to be severe,
Highly
high
function-
functioning.
yeah.
Now it's level 1, 2, 3. I don't understand what these levels are. So let's not have levels. Let's have, you know, this child is autistic, or this child is Asperger's, or this child is learning difficulties, But the autism, learning difficulty is something that Jude has. He was born, he had a terrible birth. I'm 100% convinced that obviously starved of too much oxygen in the canal birth, and then that has obviously given him a brain damage. Now, his autism is part of him.
Yeah.
That doesn't make him so disabled in the way that he is. But then again, I hate having to add all these things. Oh, so my son's autistic. Yeah, but he's non-verbal. Oh, my son's autistic. Oh, yeah, but he's severe. You know,
Yeah.
you feel like you've got to keep tagging on to justify it.
Because when you do
want
say they're
to.
autistic, they think that they're. So people don't know your son
they
or
go.
my
I
daughter.
have
They
people
think,
go,
but he'll be fine. He'll
what's
still
his
go.
specialist interest?
Yeah. Or I bet she's really clever.
Yeah.
And
It's-
it is so true, because a lot of people have said to me, even like speech and language therapists, Bailey's autism isn't her problem.
Yeah.
It's her global development delay,
Yeah.
which will become learning difficulties. That's the thing that's holding her back.
Yeah.
Not her autism.
Yeah.
You know, because you can lead a beautiful, lovely,
Yeah.
listen, you can
But the thing
life.
is, what I've learned is the learning disability is what's holding them back.
Yeah.
But it's the autism that makes our day hard.
Yes.
Okay, because the learning disability doesn't make you anxious, scream if you hear loud noises, won't want to leave the house,
Yeah.
only get in the car and drive a certain way. It's the autism that makes it bloody hard.
Yeah.
It's the learning difficulty that makes us more physically
Yes.
exhausted, because that is having to do more
We
for
have to
someone.
look after them more.
And
yeah.
physically exhausting.
Yeah,
mentally.
and obviously the loss of not watching your child grow at the rate of somebody else's. So that is one thing. But it's the autism that is painful.
Yeah.
You know, watching my child self-harm is painful. He's not doing that because of the learning disability. He is doing that because of his level of autism.
Yeah.
And I don't know really what that is, because no one can tap in and go, well, is he hearing this tone of noise that I can't hear? And actually it's really hurting him. No one can tell you these things.
That's what makes it so difficult.
That's what makes it.
That's why I want to be in their brain.
Yeah. And you could never be tested. You couldn't have a brain scan or things plugged on him. He'd take them. He won't even wear ear defenders.
Yeah.
So there is no test that's going to tell me how to make it better. I've learnt that. That comes with time, and I accept it. But that's why you have to learn to do all the things that bring you a bit of joy in that day. Because
Do you accept the way that they are fully?
I have to accept it now because it's not going to change. So if you don't accept it, you are going to struggle. I totally accept it. Would I change it? Absolutely.
Yeah, I
I'd
would
change
say
it in a
that.
second. You know, I love Jude and I love Tommy. I love all my children desperately, deeply, like I said, passionately. But would I take away something that makes their life difficult? In a fucking second. You know, just like me, if someone could take my anxiety away from me now, please snatch it out my body, throw it in the bin. I don't want it. And if they feel how I feel now, I'm starting to get it, you know, because they can't even say, Jesus Christ, guys, I can't breathe.
Yeah.
Like, my chest is tight. And, you know, I've got someone saying, no, you can breathe. You're talking, you're fine. But I don't know if he's feeling anxious, and that's why the behaviours are outputting. So for me, yeah, absolutely, I would change it. But 100%. I accept it. And I just wish that I could just snatch it all out, put it in the bin, and they don't have any processing problems, or, you know, I wish they could talk to me and tell me about their day. Even though he's 17, he probably won't want to anyway now, but, you know.
But so obviously the boys are so different.
Very different, yeah.
Where would you see their futures individually?
Well, obviously they both go to a SLD school, which is severe learning difficulties. Jude finishes in a year and 2 years, so that's pretty scary, because we're actually moving into adulthood now. So now the social worker's like, right, we're moving teams, we're doing all these things. Scary as hell. You know, James and I have got to sign power of attorney forms, because that has to happen, because he can't make his own life decisions. All these things are changing, which I hate, because I don't know what adulthood looks like. And, you know, in my world, he would live, there's a bungalow opposite me for sale. You know, social would buy that for me. It's 3 bedrooms. Jude and Tommy would live in it. We'd integrate them well. They'd have a team of carers night and day that come in and out, and I can just pop across the road like I can to James and get a can of Coke if I want. That is the dream. You know, that's what I want. I'm not ready to see Jude go into a house and me not have control. I'm far from that. Tommy, again, I don't know. He'll need assisted and full-time care throughout his life. He obviously understands communication. Jude doesn't, the way that Tommy does. But he will need support. So for me, I'm going to go for the juggler. I'm going to social and say, I want you to buy a house, and I want them to live together. Yeah. I want them to be integrated, and I want a team of carers round the clock looking after them as brothers in that house.
And you know what?
And I'll get it.
You'll get it.
You'll get it.
So. 100%.
If not, I'll just have to, I don't know.
No, you will. There's no if
not.
not.
Stripper. It's too bloody late for me.
I just said how amazing your legs are, so
yeah,
you can use those.
Maybe OnlyFans, foot down, or like
they love feet OnlyFans.
So yeah, that is my dream, and I think it's possible. In my mind, nothing's impossible.
It's sad that you have to fight for it.
But who knows? That is what I'd like, and I think that would be a really good thing. Integrate them back together. You know, the boys that couldn't live together that now do.
What a story!
And their house, and they have their own spaces and rooms, and a great care team. That is what I'm manifesting, and yeah, hopefully we'll get there.
You need to get that bungalow immediately.
I know.
It's only going to be on sale for a while.
Well, yeah, I could just keep sabotaging every time the neighbours come and go, oh my God, you should see the stuff that happens on this street.
There's asbestos everywhere.
Over there, this person over there. Oh, I've been burgled 6 times in the last month. Yeah, so I will try and sabotage it. But yeah, I think there is, for Jade, I get it. You're very early on. Bailey Bow is only, 4?
Should be 4 in October.
4 in October. It is such the beginning, but it does get better. There is hope. There is change. You're going on a holiday for the first time without her. Don't feel guilty. You will.
I do.
But don't. She's going to have the time of her life doing what she wants to do, and you are going to connect back with your family. That's really important.
And actually, it will be really good for her, because I remember, what was it, maybe 2 years ago, Jade was said, she doesn't even want me. I can leave the room and she's not asking for me. Yeah. I said, trust me, that will change. Yeah. Has it changed, Jade?
Yes. And it's a good thing that they don't need you as much. You have to accept sort of.
But I can leave the room. I can go out for the day and not say bye to her.
Yeah. Yes, but she will know that you've gone, because she relies on you.
You know, it's like I've taken trips and I've not told, like James just went to Australia. It thinks, oh my God, what do they think? Who cares what they think? They're okay. Yeah. And you will be okay too.
And you've got all the support around you. They've got you. And
I see, like, if I was an international businesswoman, I could be flying here, there and everywhere, and I'd be leaving the kids anyway.
Yeah.
You know, so.
I think it's because they can't communicate with us. And they can't say, okay, mummy.
Yeah. Yeah, see you in 2 weeks, or I'll phone you later. I get all of those things. And also, for me, I honestly believe, and it's not so true, no one can look after them the way I can. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So even if they are left with X, Y, and Z, well, they're not going to do it the way I do it. Or they're not going to get there in time.
But they're not going to do this. But they're still okay.
They're still absolutely fine.
And that's what I think we really need to start understanding. They do more things,
because other people push them more. Because I'm too emotionally attached. I'm like, I'm not gonna push him that far. Where someone won't know to think that, and then they'll do it, and then suddenly I'm like, You know, I went away for 3 days to south of France years ago. My friend Steve, bloke, who's Jude's godfather, very sensitive, very nice guy. He looked after Jude, and when he was sending me pictures of them going for walks along canals, and he took him to a little festival in a park, and I'm looking at him thinking, what the hell is going on here?
You would have done that with me.
And he was like, oh yeah, we had a great time, dude. Like he's Canadian.
Love
we've
the
had a
accent.
great time. So I think sometimes you let go and you think, oh my God, okay, that was special for them, and it's been special for me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there is so much hope and joy and fun to be had. But Jesus Christ, let's be honest. The shit times are shit. Sit with it, feel it, phone a friend, write a post, do what you need to do. Get it out. Don't leave it in.
Exactly. It's getting it out.
Get it out. And no one cares that you know. I phoned my friends today and said, do you know what? I fucking hate him. And they know I don't hate him.
Yeah.
It's a
we
safe
say it all the
space.
time, don't we?
But it's the same as like your husbands or your partners. If you're having a hard day, you don't want to sit with them in the front room. No. You hate them. You're on your friend, texting your friend going, I might leave him now.
He's on his last.
Yeah, I'm so over him. He doesn't get me.
Yeah.
Doesn't get
2 minutes
life.
later, hi babe, do you want a cup of tea?
And the next day you're like, oh, and I say to my friends, why do you never tell him about himself? They're like, there's no point because you'll be friends again the next day. And I think it's like
you're just venting. You're venting, and I think that's what's so important.
And we do have the same relationship with our children. We love them. They exhaust us. They do my head in. But also, no one brings you joy like it, right?
Oh, yeah, beyond.
I just now just go through it. When I'm hating on them or days are really hard, I just like, okay, this is just a moment in time. And you have to remember they're just moments in time. Sure. It is not your forever. Sure. It's not your life unless you make it. Don't sit with it too long.
I think that's the best advice to end it with. So thank you so much.
It's been so nice to
You
see
are
you.
gorgeous. We
Thank
love
you.
you.
I love you, guys. Now we need a proper night out.
Yes, let's go.
You know those moments when we go, kids? What kid?